friends, let's see the poem The Daddy by Sylvia Plath. The Daddy is one of the significant poems of Sylvia Plath. It can be said as an autobiographical poem. It is the most biographical poem of all poems of Sylvia Plath. It is written from 1950 to 1962. Sylvia Plath wrote the poem on October 13, 1962, and it was published in the magazine Encounter on October 4, 1963. In this poem, the speaker, that is the poetess, expresses her attitude towards her father, Otto Plath. In this poem, there is mixture of love and hate for her father. Her father is always present as a worshipful deity in her poetry. Sometimes she is angry with him, or sometimes she is pleased with him. This poem is a rare combination of the private and the universal. It is an expression of her anger at her father, and at the same time, it is a strong condemnation of Nazism and Hitler's outrages. The poem is written in 16 stanzas of 5 lines each, and the same rhyme in all the stanzas. Now the poem. You do not do any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a fool for 30 years. Poor and white, barely daring to breathe or achoo. You do not do. Father, you should not get angry towards me anymore. Black shoe in which I have lived like a foot. You are a black shoe, and I have lived under your foot, your shoe, on strict discipline. I have lived under strict discipline for 30 years. Under you, I have lived under strict discipline for 30 years with you. Poor and white, that means in a depressed state. Barely daring to breathe or achoo. And even I have no courage to breathe and sneeze under your strict control. Next stanza. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God, ghastly statue with one great toe, big as a fresco seal. Daddy, I have had to kill you. It indicates the poetess is saying, I have to remove you from my heart, but you died before I had time. But you had died before I had grown fully. Marble heavy, a bag full of God. Marble heavy represents the heaviness of his dead body or his marble gravestone. And the bag full of God, the skin around our body is a bag, and the poetess is saying her father is a God. He is made of godly character. A marble heavy, the dead body or the marble gravestone, the heaviness of the marble gravestone of her father, and a bag full of God, his godly character inside him. Ghastly statue with one great toe. Ghastly statue is a horrible or a frightful statue with one great toe, big as a fresco seal. A horrible statue with one grey colored toe, and it is compared to a fresco seal. A seal. Seal is an animal. A seal in where? In San Francisco, California. Now the poem. And I head in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours bean green over blue, the waters of beautiful Narset. I used to pray to recover you, Achdu. And I head in the freakish Atlantic. This line resembles the length of the statue of her father. The statue of her father extends, that is, his toe in San Francisco and head to the freakish Atlantic. The toe is referred in the previous stanza as ghastly statue with one great toe big as a fresco seal. So, her father's statue extends his toe extends in San Francisco, California to the head in the freakish Atlantic, the big Atlantic. Then, where it pours bean green over blue. The sound of the Atlantic appears pretty as it is pouring, and the color of the Atlantic water appears as green bean over blue. The bean is green in color, and the color of the water is bean green over blue. The place called Nasset. Nasset is a region on the shore of Massachusetts. She says, then Sylvia Plath is saying, I used to pray to recover you, Ashdo. I pray to God daily, Dad, to recover you soon from your illness. Ashdo. Finally, this line, Ashdo, is a phrase in German indicating "oh you." It is a sense of release, a relief. Next, in the German tongue, in the Polish town, scraped flat by the roller of wars, wars, wars. But the name of the town is common, my Polak friend. In the German tongue, in the Polish town. Platt's father was from Poland, where German and Polish languages were spoken. The town where he lived was destroyed by German war. Scraped flat by the roller. It indicates the town is destroyed completely by a roller. Maybe the military tank. Military tank is having roller under. That in order to refer to the military tank, the poetess is saying scraped flat by the roller. The town is destroyed completely by the military tank or the roller of wars, wars, wars. She repeats wars 3 times. This indicates the place has been flattened completely by 3 wars. But the name of the town is common, my Polak friend. The name of the town is quite common, and Plath came to know the name of the town from her Polak friend. Her friend told Plath that there were a dozen of towns where her father, Otto Plath, put his foot. He visited during his lifetime. Now the poem says there are a dozen or two, so I never could tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you, the tongue stuck in my jaw. The speaker's Polish friend says there are so many towns in Poland with the same name, so she can't tell exactly which places her father visited. Put your foot, your root. He visited, or your root, or from where he actually immigrated. I never could talk to you, the tongue stuck in my jaw. She says, I am unable to speak to you, Daddy, as my tongue got stuck in my jaw. Maybe because the poetess is scared to speak to her father, or she don't know to speak German. So she might have tell, I never could talk to you, Daddy, the tongue is stuck in my jaw. Now the next stanza, it stuck in a barbed wire snare, itch, 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 itch. I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you and the language obscene. Barbed wire is used in fencing and snare is a trap. It stuck in a barbed wire snare. Daddy, my tongue got stuck like it has stuck in a barbed wire snare, like a trap made of sharp pointed spikes. My tongue got stuck in a barbed wire snare, in a trap. Itch, 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 itch. I. Itch, itch indicates I in German. The poetess is stammering to speak. I am thinking every German person was you, father. And as she hates the language of her father, she says, and the language obscene. Your language is indecent, father. Now the poem. An engine, chuffing me off like a Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen, I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. An engine. Here, an engine indicates train because chuffing me off like a Jew. Chuffing here is an onomatopoeia. It indicates the sound of the train. Like the train that carried the Jews to concentration camps during the Holocaust, she is also carried to the concentration camps in Germany. The concentration camps given here are due to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen. These three places are the concentration camps in Germany. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. Now the speaker feels herself that she is speaking like a Jew, and also she adds, it is much better to be a Jew. Now the next stanza. The snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna, are not very pure or true with my gypsy ancestors and my weird luck and my Tarak pack. I may be a bit of a Jew. The snows of the Tyrol. Tyrol borders Germany. It is a part of alpine mountain region with many snow-capped peaks. The poetess don't like the snows of Vienna. The Vienna beer. Vienna is the capital of Austria. She didn't like the snows of Austrian towns, the beer of Vienna. She says, these cities are not pure and true. With my gypsy ancestors and my weird luck. With my gypsy ancestors indicate her ancestors are wandering ancestors. They are wandering people and they are Jews. And my weird luck indicates her unexpected luck. That is, and my Tarak pack. Her luck is her Tarak pack. Her pack of tarot cards. They are used to tell fortunes. The tarot pack are the tarot cards and they are used to tell fortunes. She is saying the tarot pack is her luck and her ancestors are gypsy ancestors. They are wandering ancestors. I may be a bit of a Jew. She indicates she may also appear as a Jew as her ancestors. Now the next stanza. I have always been scared of you with your love wave, your gobbledygoo and your neat mustache and your Aryan eye, bright blue, Panzerman, oh you. Sylvia Plath is afraid of her father always. With your Luftwaffe. Luftwaffe refers German Air Force. Her father always speaks about German Air Force. Or gobbledygoo. Gobbledygoo is circumlocutory language. It means a word of no importance. A nonsense word is gobbledygoo. But you may be thinking this word as it has some importance. But it is a word of no importance. And your neat mustache. And your Aryan eye bright blue. Plath imagines her father's neat mustache and his Aryan eye of bright blue color. The neat mustache and Aryan eye bright blue indicates Hitler's perfect Aryan race. Panzerman, oh you. Panzerman indicates German tank drivers in army. Here the poetess is saying, you are a military soldier, oh you father. Next stanza. Not God but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist, the brute in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. Not God but a swastika. Father, you worship no God but the Nazi symbol of Hitler, the swastika. So black. It is black in color so that even if it blocks the sky, it resembles that the symbol cannot be recognized by anyone. Every woman adores a fascist. Every woman adores, every woman regard with honor a fascist man. Fascism is associated with Hitler and his authoritarian dictatorship rule. The man's boot in the woman's face, she says. The boot in the face. The man's boot in the woman's face, she says. Due to the dominance and power the fascist men thrust on women, the women are respecting them like God. The brood heart of a brute like you. Father, you are a very cruel person with a very broad heart. Now the next stanza. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy. In the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that, no not any less the black man who. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy. Father, you are standing at the blackboard. In the picture I have of you. Platt saw her father in a blackboard picture, and this is the picture still she is having with her. A cleft in your chin instead of your foot. Father, you had a cleft dividing the space between your chin. She says that his cleft is in his chin rather than in his foot, like a devil. The devil has, Platt assumes, devil has cleft in his foot. So she says, but no less a devil for that. No, not. It is better that you don't have a cleft in your foot like a devil has. No, not. No, not. It's just like, no, Daddy, no. You are not a devil. Any less the black man who bit my pretty red heart into two. She says, you are a black man, Daddy. Black man doesn't indicate his race. Instead, it indicates the cruel heart of her father. You are a cruel man who has bit my heart into two. My pretty red heart. Platt is saying her heart is pure and its color is red. But her father, a cruel black father, his heart is black. I was 10 when they buried you. I was 10 years old when you died, Father. At 20 I tried to die, and after 10 years of your death, I tried to commit suicide and get back to you. In order to get back, in order to reach you or to see you again or to come closer to you, I tried to die, Father. I thought even the bones would do, and I had the confidence that the bones, my death, would make me to get closer to you, Daddy, again. Now the next stanza. But they pulled me out of the sack and they stuck me together with glue, and then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black with a Mein Kampf look. But they pulled me out of the sack. When I tried to die, some people had rescued me, pulled me out of the sack, and they stuck me together with glue. Stuck me, they glued me again together. Maybe my soul is glued again with my body. And then I knew what to do. Then I realized actually what I need to do thereafter. I made a model of you. I made a model picture of you, Father. A man in black with a Mein Kampf look. I made the model of you as a man who has a black heart, like Hitler and a Nazi look. Mein Kampf represents Hitler's Nazism. Next answer. And the love of the rack and the screw, and I said, I do. So, Daddy, I am finally through. The black telephone's off at the root. The voices just can't warm through. and a love of the rack and the screw. The rack and screw indicate some kind of torture. Love of the rack and screw, for the love for torture or the epitome of evil I missed from you, and I said, I do. And as I had promised to you, I will do. I married a fascist, a man like you. I had married a man like you as I had said to you. So, Daddy, I am finally through, and finally, I am with the model of you throughout my life. I am with a person just like you. The black telephone's off at the root. The black telephone may be the daddy, the poet's father. She says the black telephone is off at the root. The father who is speaking can no longer speak as the root, the wire of the telephone, is not connected or cut. He can't speak no longer as he is not living. The voices just can't warm through. As the voice of the father can't be heard anymore. As the voices can't be heard from a telephone when it is not connected with the wire, the father's voice can't be heard as he is no more. The next stanza, if I have killed one man, I have killed two. The vampire who said he was you and drank my blood for a year. 7 years, if you want to know, Daddy, you can lie back now. If I have killed one man, I have killed two. I have killed not only one man, I have killed two, you and a model of you. Model may be the person whom she married. The vampire who said he was you. The vampire, she assumes the vampire as a man whom she married. The vampire, the man had told that he was like you. He was like the same you, father. And I have killed you both in my head or in my imagination. And drank my blood for a year. It indicates the cruelty she had from the man. Suddenly she says, and drank my blood for a year. 7 years. Not for 1 year, but 7 years. 7 years he may be with her. If you want to know, Daddy, you can lie back now. If you deny, Father, whatever I am saying, you can say everything else, I am lying. Or this line, if you want to know, Daddy, you can lie back now, also represents, she says, not for 1 year I had the cruelty from the man, but for 7 years. If you need to know more in detail, now you can lie back and take rest in the grave. Now the next stanza. There is a stag in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, Daddy, you bastard, I am through. There is a stag in your fat black heart. Till now there is something stagnant in your fat black heart, in your cruel, horrible heart, even after your death, Daddy. And the villagers never liked you. The villagers of Poland, where you lived, hadn't liked you ever. They were enjoying your death. They were dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. They always knew it was you who was responsible for their destruction. The villagers here given maybe also not real. They are fake. Maybe the poet's imagination. Daddy, Daddy, you bastard, I am through. You are not a worthy person, Daddy. Daddy, Daddy, you bastard, I am through. But I am living still with the memories of you.